Welcome to Switch Comics. My name is Marco, and today we have an absolutely massive hot toy to open up. So this is the Mark VI Iron Man with the gantry from Avengers. It is pretty dang heavy. And yeah, I can't wait to go ahead and bust him open and then figure out where I'm going to put him. He is one of the more interesting sized little box art cover pieces. Okay, so out of this box, this is just the Iron Man in here, so I think this is a good spot to start. Alright, so here he is out of the package. You know, the Iron Men are always die cast, so he's super heavy, has a really nice weight to him. All kinds of crazy cool detail that I'm sure I've yet to explore everything, but like that's really sick looking. Yeah, he looks gorgeous. He also comes with this swappable damaged chest plate, a damaged mask. I think this goes around his neck if you want to swap it out, maybe, I think. And there is the Robert Downey Jr. head, which I actually will probably end up using. Most of the time I always go with helmets, but as you'll see when we get into this, there is a very specific thing that's super cool that I will want it to be posed in a certain way. So he comes with fist hands, but then he also comes with these really cool blast hands, but the fingers are fully posable. So, I mean, you can do all kinds of things with these. Then he does come with a separate pair of blast hands that are actually just like that. You can kind of move the fingers around a little bit, but not really. No, actually, I don't think you can at all. I thought you could. For a second, I couldn't tell what was different on these, but they have the little gun sticking out. So I was like, these are just another pair of fist hands, but I was just looking at the fingers. He's got the gun on there. But we're not done there yet. He comes with a full sheet underneath of the figure with all kinds of extra little bits and pieces. Okay, and after much effort, we were able to get the helmet. The difficult part was getting the neck off, because it just, the way the texturing of it was, it just kind of slides upward, and there wasn't enough anywhere to really like put your hands to grab it. But we got the new head sculpt on. We are going to adjust its eyes. This part's going to be a little bit creepy, but the back of his head removes, and it's magnetic, and you can adjust his eyes in there. And I think that being able to put his eyes to the side there really just adds to the smirk and really amplifies this head sculpt in particular. So this is probably going to be hard to see because my big studio lights are on, but bam, there you go. He has the chest light, which is getting overexposed in the camera, but you can fully see the detail of like the arc reactor. I'll try to take a picture of it. Let's see if that works. So I had to hold him up next to one of my studio lights so it would correctly compensate for the light balance. But there you can finally see the detail. Another thing that's not really going to be able to see, but there is these really nice blue lights that kind of come under it and just give it a nice little effect, and it kind of shines down on his armor, and it's really cool looking. Alright, so now I'm starting to swap out to the under armor pieces, because this gantry has all the arms and stuff to take off the pieces, so I'm going to be starting to switch these around. Alright, so I think more or less this is how I'm going to have him set up. I got all the little armor removed bits on there. There is tons of other cool things in here, like let me show you, like you can swap out a piece there to put the little missile coming out of his arm. And then you can swap out pieces on his shoulder to have little missiles. And I can't remember if I showed this off already, but then he's got like an additional missile there. I believe I did show off the back flaps as well, but I did just discover these, so I know I haven't shown these off. But he's got little flaps on the back of his legs as well. Alright, with him, mostly how he's going to be, I think now it's time to get into the gantry. This thing is massive. Okay, this was kind of overwhelming. I was like, there's so many of these like pieces, I don't know what goes where, but they do have them labeled. Here you go, you can see it. So that definitely makes it easier. Okay, so that stands for level 1, row 3. I don't know if there's any particular order I should be putting them in. But so level 1, right? No, it stands for left row 3, I think. So it should go here. Okay. Got that one in. This one is... What? Okay. I make sense of it now. So it's left 1 and also right 3. They're the same piece, but they just go on different sides. Okay, so this is left 2. Okay, so there's a couple pieces that are duplicates. And so like there's R1 and L3. They're the same. But I just feel like they should have labeled one R1 and the other one L3, and it would have been a lot easier for my brain to understand. Now, I did notice when putting these on, some of these pieces can move. I'm not sure exactly how it's supposed to be set up. And there is this massive gantry again. This thing is huge. Oh man, it's super sweet. He stands up there just fine. But we're not done with the gantry yet. Now we have all these arms to figure out where they go to be taken off the armor pieces. What? That is so cool. Okay, so I thought like he's got all these like grippy hands or whatever, so I'm like, okay, well you just have to sit in there carefully. But there's actually a magnet, so you don't have to even like be super worried about how well you have it grabbing on there. Obviously you want it to look good, but it's not like, you know, super important that you have it gripped on there as best you can. And also especially since you can open up the helmet like that, and we'll show what that looks like a little bit later. Okay, and this is where it gets a little tricky, because you can actually put these wherever you want. There's all these slots inside these rings, and so you can do whatever with it, which is cool, but then it's like, oh crap, it means I gotta figure out what I'm doing. Alright, that helps it be seen a little bit better. So there we have the first arm attached, and yeah, it's taking the helmet off. So let's see what else we can do with it. Okay, so since he's in a bit of a precarious position, I'm going to go ahead and add this little support stand, which just kind of slides right in under. You can put it under any stair. And so I think for him, let's see. Yeah, there holds him pretty well. And so now I added a piece taking off his back armor. And the next piece added was right here. Whoops. So it's taking off his chest plate here. Alright, and then I got kind of lost in the sauce here. So I added the shoulder remover piece. Whoops. I'm trying to show it the best I can. So shoulder remover piece, and then the leg armor remover piece. And I think that makes it pretty much good to go. Now what is really cool is, so there's all kinds of slots all up and down these arm things. I don't know what to call them. The gantry. But it's fully customizable. There is no one single way to do this. You can do it however you want, which this did take me kind of a while to figure out. Now granted, you only want one arm on each thing. And there's not enough for all the armor pieces and all the arms either. It would kind of be cool if they sold some additional arm pieces so that I could put more armor things, and you know, because for example there's only one taken off a shoulder, one taken off a leg piece, and it'd be kind of neat to get at least another shoulder piece and another leg piece to be able to put on there as well. That being said, like I said, realistically you don't want more than one arm on each of these big pieces here, because they're supposed to be, you know, moving up and down and they'd be running into each other. So when I was putting them on there, I wasn't really thinking about it at first, and at one point I did put two on the same one. I'm like, wait a minute, that's dumb. Let me see about getting this thing plugged in. Okay, so I got the lights on. I have his chest light on. Again, you can't really see the detail. I did take some pictures and you can see the detail a little bit better in there. I did have to turn off a studio light because I was running out of plugs, and there were some plugs I was like, I don't know what plugs those go to. It might be the computer, so I didn't want to plug those. But yeah, he looks super freaking sweet. I'm very happy to finally have this. This has been one that, you know, I ordered a long time ago. I've been very much anticipating, and I'm pretty dang happy with it. So, you know, that's pretty much it for this video. I don't know how long this will end up being. It took me forever to get it recorded. There's gonna be a lot cut out, obviously, but I'm pretty freaking stoked with how this is. There's so many ways you could pose this. You could do all kinds of things with this, and with certain pieces on or off. I end up adding some pieces back on because it does only come with a certain number of arms. So yeah, and I might change that later. I know, I don't know. I kind of like more armor being off, but you know, there's an unlimited number of things you can have them fully suited up and not have any arms, and just have them walking down the stairs, and that could be super cool too. There's so many options, and I think it's pretty freaking sweet. This is definitely a highlight of the collection. Again, I don't do too many Marvel, but when I saw this one, I was like, well, I got to. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Ha ha ha!